Hey kids, this is Pulse Ray Vision coming to you live from Cuatro Cinco Studios in my mom's basement. The time is 11:11 a.m. Good luck. Where where I'm at, anyways. We just want to jump on here. Obviously, every day we want to come to you guys' stream, talk about what's new in the ecosystem, our community, and check out the countdowns and the charts with you guys. Sometimes we do some giveaways, some contests, and have a little bit of fun. Obviously, we just want to be here for you guys as often as we can, as regularly as we can, because this building this community is really our passion and our goal. So good morning, wherever you guys are. I got Patrick's Astros and stuff. Good morning. I saw you threw out the thing on X here just a second ago, I believe. I possibly there's an Astro Degen on X that just barely took advantage of the 4,000 collective points that you guys get for retweeting our video from Pulse Chain Trainer. And so I'm going to add you here to that one right there. Astro Degen. Awesome. 1469. Cool. And shout out to Smo Spider, who's already retweeted this stream. Thank you very much. We should have at least one guest on here in the green room. The link to join is obviously going to be in our Telegram group. It's going to be in our channel on Randy Halarski's No Permissions group. And then I always tweet it out here. So it's on Twitter as well. We actually have two guests coming on right here. We've got the Hexiest Man in the world. And we also have...
Evil Address?
The Hexiest Man.
Oh, he thought that
Crispy
the evil
Man
address was going to jump in. And we might have the evil address jump in
and
too.
the Crispy Man in the house.
I saw this random link and I was working, so I figured I'd click the button.
I'm glad you did, man.
I just show up, yeah.
I like the background there. That looks very calming and peaceful.
Very peaceful. Looks like a lot of upkeep. You got to water a lot of plants, man.
Yeah, I have to water these dystopian plants in the future.
Yeah, maybe you got to have a watering system. You can
in my library. Yeah.
Decentralize it on the blockchain where tokens can decide which plants are watered.
Yeah, AI.
AI, dude. There you go.
Yeah. They have those now, you know. Yeah, you probably know this since you're talking about it.
I didn't know that, but I don't doubt it. And I know exactly who I need to tell about that though, because she is bad at plants.
It's this new hydroponic. It doesn't have to be hydroponic, but that's one of the things. These hydroponic factories.
Wow.
Where where the factory is, multi-level.
Yeah.
Vegetables, fruits, whatever, and they're monitoring every single one of the plants, and they have injection into the soil, the water, the nutrients they need when they need them.
See, that's crazy. You can take it. AI is taking so many things where skill gained over years and years and years of learning. It just almost nullifies. It almost nullifies skill, and it's almost like, who wants to work hard with the AI? It's just like, if someone had the budget and they had the energy to go do a hydroponic plant like that. I mean, dude, they'd smoke most of the people that have been doing it for 10, 20 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
It's wild.
100%. Hey, so what's the topic here?
We whatever you want to talk about. You're the special guest today, man. I mean, we cover just about everything here. We have ADD, right? Like every Degen.
Badly.
We kind of bounce from subject to subject. We got a little bounce in the charts this morning.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Show me.
Skip. Here, I'll share the screen here, and I'll show you guys. We got just a little bounce. This is the kind of stuff that has people saying, we are so back, baby. So if we go here to I'm going to jump into Dex screen. It's the fastest one to pull them up with. But here's PulseX's little bounce. Look at this little bounce off this bottom right here. Bing.
And people are happy now.
Yo, thrilled.
Let's put it in law.
All fights are now peaceful. No more beef on the chain.
I don't know about that. Yeah, but yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, every chart tells a story, right?
Yes,
And
it does.
so right here we have the Interpol FUD dump. And then right here we have Ulti dump where people are yanking money out to jump into Ulti. And then we got our little bounce back, a tiny bit of like a breath of air right here. Just a tiny little.
Was that really people selling to get into Ulti?
I believe so.
I mean, was it like $6 or $9 million of ETH that went into that got stuck in Ulti?
6 at the time, like 6.9, I think.
Yeah.
6.8, 7 million almost.
And I believe a lot of people that were in the community jumping into it had pulled a lot of money out previously from Hex, Hedron,
Right.
all those other ones. And so if it's not here on the chart, it's other places on the chart where you've seen some people with big bags dump that were, quote unquote leaders in the space or OGs. And so, yeah, every chart, you can just read what's going on. Same with Bitcoin. You can pull up Bitcoin's chart.
Oh, yeah.
You can see where the Mt. Gox hack happened. You can see where the Bitcoin Cash fight was going on, all sorts of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't really hate on Steph for the idea that he was doing something, but every time something comes up, it always reminds me that my Hex is never affected by this stuff. I mean, the price, yeah,
Right.
okay. But I mean, operationally, how things work, it's just more time in the saddle.
Do you got a Hex payout per t-shirt on Hexfire, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's up there, sure. I mean, I'm using in this case on that site for the public data. It's coming from Hex Daily Stats or Hex Stats today. So,
Hey, Chris, do you know? Does Hex have a Dune? I use your site, but I don't. Does it have a Dune Analytics yet?
I don't know if anybody's set anything up specific for that.
Because I'm just saying, like, because that's a lot of exposure. A lot of people use that, and I think it's the same people that own Rabby, no, I might be wrong. And no, same people that own Rabby own DeBank, but as far as Dune Analytics, a lot of people go to those sites to check different things, and I could just imagine that being a cool thing. Not that you need a bunch more work, and Hexfire does it all already. I'm just thinking you've already done so much work there.
There's so much that can be done, man. There's so many more things that can be done.
Yeah, you say, how do you want to look at the data? You can look at it in a million different ways.
Yeah, the payout per t-shirt is going up. I mean, we know that it always has been going up, but it's getting. Somebody was talking about it going to 8 by the end of the year. It might, the base one might come close. It might get to like 7, 8, 7.8. A lot of people, spoil the frog, right?
Yep.
Meaning, a lot of people look at it like, that's not that much. But, when you start aggregating it over a very long period of time and a lot of t-shirts, it's like huge, right? And so people just miss the boat that don't pay attention because, like any other, and you guys know, because I'm sure you're exposed to some other stuff. I mean, these shiny things come along, people jump into them and they don't necessarily always work out.
Right.
And you can see it's been bubbling here, kind of doing a little bit of jumping closer to 10, or like 8, the high 8s. This one here was 8.7. So it's bubbling closer to 10, with lately.
Yeah, that's being fueled by the penalties because we're seeing something like on average around 4.5, 5 million in penalties, something like that per day. Not capitulation type stuff, but just
penalties.
Just what people do.
Yeah.
I guess a lot of the new people may not know that merge and staking for some people in the beginning was the strategy. Is the strategy as crazy as that might sound? It's not something I'm endorsing, but I understand the strategy.
Right. Some have it baked in. Yep. Exactly. That's one of the things regarding Ulti, since we were just talking about that. I don't know how complex that project was in terms of different contracts and I also respect anyone that's trying to build something. One of the things that I'm curious about, and just curious your take with your tech mind is, and again, we launched a project. This is our first time ever launching a project with Dart, and so we were so anal about making sure that we got the audits, multiple audits, and that we tested on testnet. Like as far as something like this, like it almost seems like an oversight in terms of with the bots and the slippage. With Steph, I mean, how do you see something like that being avoided?
Well, that a lot of that has to do more with tokenomics than they do with the audit.
Right.
So
Right.
in this is a
There are
very big,
tokenomics audits, though.
yeah.
It's an audit that
Yeah.
can be done.
I mean, this is a big generalization, but typically with audits, right? Why would I do an audit? I do an audit because I want to make sure at least the base security is covered. But mostly, particularly for these guys who don't post their code, right? Mostly what it is trying to make sure this isn't a nefarious contract. But the auditors, just like Richard told us way in the beginning, they don't know any more than you do. You got to
all they do is just like accreditation, almost like with the healthcare center. Their job is just to prove that your thing does what it says it does in whatever type of audit you're getting, right?
Code wise,
But yeah, exactly.
The tokenomics, that's a whole different thing. Like, I mean, we could do like a tokenomics audit of something and still not get it right because you don't know. You're making all sorts of assumptions.
There's unknown unknowns. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, unknown. I love that. That's great. I love that kind of discussion. Unknown unknowns are really important because a lot of people don't understand risk management in the first place, right? And there's like a whole science behind that. Known unknowns, known knowns, unknown unknowns, right?
Yep.
But yeah, I don't.
Unknowns are a huge portion of the whole chart.
Yeah, I don't know how they missed it. I don't know how Steph missed it. But there were people that came out before it was launched and had told them that there was a problem.
Oh, so, really?
Why? I don't know. I don't know. I didn't go into it. And I didn't participate at all in it, and didn't talk about it.
Right.
I didn't even take the time to go look at it. But I got too many other things I'm working on.
Likewise, yeah. I heard about it basically after it all happened. I didn't even look at entering. But I didn't realize it was as big as it had been, and I mean it just shows that I don't know what the lesson is here, but just anyone that's building on the chain, because we are a layer 1 community now, not just an ERC or PRC20 community, but is just listen to the feedback of others. I mean that's one of the things we did, Christy. Is you see in our Telegram, we literally said to everyone, we said, hey, please, we have a bug bounty program still live right now where there's like $5,000 or something that's available for identifying different bugs, starting with some small ones and then all the way up to some critical ones. But it's we want feedback. You want to get that from others, and also you want to test everything, because we did a lot of things that had not yet been done on the chain and still haven't been done on the chain. The way that we built some things, and I mean we got 15 smart contracts working in concert, so we had to test ad nauseum. And we're by no means saying that, hey, if something we're quite confident in how things are. Of course, there's always unknown unknowns, but it's just so important to get that feedback from others and pause, and not just run forward when you got $6 million at stake.
Well, we actually had to go make some changes to the code after testing, and because we made changes to the code after testing, we did another round of audits again, just to make sure that any changes that we made to the code were also, even though we were pretty sure they were okay, we wanted to make sure we ran it through the audit again. So that pushed us back a few weeks in launching, just double checking and getting the audit done after we changed anything. We got a bunch of people in the house here. We got Patrick Astros and stuff, as I mentioned earlier, Mobius. Smo Spider says, Crispy Man, Moonlight, good morning, friends.
I see him.
From Crypto Compassion, hey fam. We got Bright Light, what up, from the Yep token. Of course, we got Hexfire in the chat. And Crypto Compassion says, sometimes coders have pride and don't think they need an audit. And
I can see that
a little bit. Or when you do the audit, they overlook something and then they're like, oh yeah, well that's an easy fix. It's like, yeah, but that's the whole point of the audit is to fix this stuff. Adam from Viber Finance says PTGC UFO make hex staking so
2008.
I agree and I disagree with that. Because it is nice to just buy a token and let it sit, like just buy it and chill, where you get the reflection stuff like that. Um, However, I don't know. I mean, obviously, Hex, the T-shares and the community are really what have been the secret sauce.
Mm-hmm.
Hex has been more, I'd say, the community than staking. That has really pushed Hex into its all-time highs last run, and the reason that we still believe in it on this run. And of
Yep.
course, Smokespire says Cuatro Cinco 5555.
Spider Cuatro Cinco. That's it.
Yes, sir. Cuatro
Yeah.
cinco.
Yeah. I won't hijack your show talk about Hex, but yeah, Cuatro Cinco. Man.
Oh,
Huge.
dude,
What a huge opportunity right now. It's just like,
Yeah.
I know people that hate on it think what they think. Hey, for just for clarity too, I have both PTGC and UFO.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's
Mhm.
Likewise.
I don't disagree. I just don't know how everything will work out in the end. But my focus is Hex.
Yep.
Yeah, and we've seen the Hex contract copied like 100 different times by 100 different projects that thought they thought they could do a
Rex.
better Hex. There's why, like a whole bunch of them you could just mention. So even though like it's copyrighted and you can't just copy paste, you can copy the tokenomics, but no one's been able to copy the community
Mhm.
so far.
Right.
No one's been able to just. People have vampire attacked the community
Yeah.
with a couple of projects, but they haven't been able to actually get the whole community to leave Richard Hart and Hex and
Right.
Pulse Chain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's been true. Yeah, I think that we talk about this ad nauseum a lot. Like what is the value of crypto? And a lot of people. I'm hopeful that someday we see a jump the shark type of
Yeah.
situation where crypto is integrated in my day-to-day life, but I don't know what that technology is going to look like when
Gosh.
it finally comes.
Are we that far from it? And the reason I wonder that, I mean, I look at a technology like Phantom Wallet, for example, which granted is Solana focused, and that thing it's so fast. It's got a lot of different things built in, and it's just got a lot of. And Rabby is pretty cool. Like Rabby's got a lot of functionality as well. It can connect to basically any chain. Like, why wouldn't there just need to be a service that basically can? It would obviously need to just filter through whatever garbage tokens people put up there, but it dials into liquidity, it dials into the token, and it basically either market sells the token, or maybe you could set custom parameters for whatever you're paying with, and it's just seamless, chain agnostic, whatever it might be. You know what I mean? Like there's got to be, even if they started with the top 5 chains, like there's got to be that. And I'm not saying if everyone went crypto, but you would think that exists. I mean, with Venmo, you can already just buy and sell Bitcoin and Ethereum just right then and there and send those to people.
Yeah, there's ways to get to to see the technology go in that kind of direction for sure. I mean, I can go on 10 different platforms and buy Bitcoin, right?
Right, exactly.
Or Ethereum. So I think that eventually, we get there. I think the biggest argument, trade-off, barrier comes down to not your keys, not your crypto.
Yep, you're 100% right.
And I don't know how that gets addressed in all this, but because that's like a big deal, not being able to have control over it. But I think when we talk about crypto, it's still very much a gambling game,
Yeah.
And I know that people don't want to hear that, so I won't talk too much about it. But it's kind of how it is. But I think what Hexiest, I think what does kind of change that is the value that we get from efforts like this, right? Meaning the anti-gravity saga, right, and the dark matter story, because this is not just financial. I mean,
Correct.
sure, there's financial stuff involved, but this is entertainment, right? This is community, and just like Crypto Compassion said, you can't fork a community, right? You really can't. I mean, you can steal from it. It can break up. It can move around. It reforms, whatever. But you can't just like in total just grab the whole thing, right, and go point it somewhere else. So.
Right.
But these types of efforts, like this project, I think provides lots of lots of opportunity for value that's not monetary.
Thank you, man. That's absolutely what we believe, and we're glad that it comes across as such, because it gives people a game or a project to financial energy can be put into, and automatically entered into the lottery. But regardless, even if you never win any of those, which you likely will, 1 in 20, I mean, if you just participate once in any journey, you're going to win one of them. But forget about that. Everything's earning yield, at a crazy rate, like a really crazy rate in the token. But take the financial part out of it. You got the story. You got all the fact that all the tokenomics are built into the book. There's Easter eggs throughout there. And it's a way that everyone can basically go on a journey that's like 4 years long. That's just that will have some very fun opportunities for trading if people want to trade, or just to sit in it without dealing with stakes bleeding out or their fuel cells bleeding out. There's just a lot of things that people can do and it is entertainment. I mean, that's the whole thing. Especially as we have some more videos and short clips come out. Maybe eventually a whole AI movie's done about the book. It's a lot of cool things that we're looking forward to here.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to start reading chapter 5. I haven't gotten to start yet, but getting close.
Nice, man.
Close.
Hell yeah.
I got the goal. I forget how many chapters there are. I got the goal to finish the book, but I haven't gotten that far.
I think there's 25 right now, and it may go a little bit longer, it may go a little bit shorter, depending on the reviews, and baking all the tokenomics into the story, making sure that they're all correct and that they're there for people to find.
Hey, so maybe you can help me with this. Is this a single author, or are you guys sharing the load and people doing different writing?
Well, we started out trying to write the book with just AI. We fed the plot, the synopsis into AI, the journeys.
Like 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And we got basically a skeleton from that. And then I hired a writer to just go and put the whole thing together. And he had a great framework of a story, but there wasn't any like heart or emotion or humor in it. Mm. So we rewrote it 3 times. I rewrote it 3 times to kind of get it to be a much more interesting story.
Yeah.
And then we met with Annie Alexander, who's this brilliant person in the NFT space. And she was saying that you either have to have a big, loud personality, kind of like Richard Hart, or even someone like Charles Hoskinson, that's like, the leader, or you got to have a story. And so we said, oh yeah, we got a story. And she goes, well, does the story explain the token? We're like, oh no, it doesn't. It just was parallel. It didn't really integrate the tokenomics. Mm-hmm. So she's like, you got to do that. So we rewrote it and put the tokenomics in it, and then brought on another author that really started to bring our story was very point A to point B, if that makes any sense. So he came in and he started to twist it and put more intrigue and little hints here and there in it. And we got to chapter 13 with him, and then he bailed. And so we've been working with a lot of different writers on here, myself included, and we're just trying to get the best possible product out to market as quickly as possible right now. And so that's why we're doing the reviews. Is we want several people to review it so that we can look at each chapter individually and say, okay, everyone says this chapter is boring, for instance, right? Okay, we really need to rewrite this chapter, or this chapter everyone says is great, so we don't need to touch it, that kind of stuff. So we'll go through, and then we need to double check and make sure that the tokenomics and some of the Easter eggs for some of the surprises that we have coming out are baked in there, so that people that are looking for them can find them.
Right. Well, in this case, the perfect is the enemy of the good. So, when you're talking about what you're putting out on the market, well, I shared with Max. I was sharing with him that Robert Heinlein, right, this prolific writer, right? He came out with some rules because he had been doing like serials, right? I mean, people forever have been writing books, right? Like,
Oh
well,
yeah.
like it's not forever, but early in the 1800s and 1900s, people would be doing this book writing. Anyways, it's probably more important. Of course, it needs to be technically correct, whatever you're putting in there, but it's probably more important to get it on the market than it is just to make it perfect.
Right.
But now that being said, a lot of people on Amazon, they'll revise, your book, so you can come back with a second copy and update it. I mean, it's not like you're stuck with it the way it is.
That's true.
So you can do revisions, and it's not a big deal. It's just like you go in and you upload the new copy. That's it. And way back when, I don't know if any you guys probably only science sci-fi geeks would be interested in this, but there's a new show that's started this year called Silo, or last year I think it came out, called Silo, and it's on Apple TV.
Okay.
And that's based on a book series, sort of as a book called Wool, WOOL, from Hugh Howey, I think his name is.
Okay.
And so I was talking to this dude back in 2013. It was so cool, right?
Did
I wish that I was looking into Bitcoin at the time, but
Right.
instead I was screwing around with books and whatnot. But this guy was he was one of the first crossovers, right? So there was a time where you couldn't get a book published, right, unless you went to a publisher.
Correct.
And it's gate kept. You got to know the right people. You got to do the right stuff. You got to pay the right money. I mean, there's all this crap that
My
goes with
fiance,
that, right?
mom is an author. That's what she does as a
Okay.
profession. So I see it all. It's crazy.
Yeah. So you probably know much more than I could even say. But he was.
You're
one of
right
the
with
first-
everything you've said. Yeah.
Yeah, he was like one of the first crossovers. And what do I mean by that? He self-published with Amazon. And when the crossover was, it was a very popular story. Sci-fi, future, dystopian, all this type of stuff, right? And I think he earned, they gave him like $3 million, right, to go into
Wow.
to cross over into regular publishing and not self-publishing, right? And so the publisher's done that, and his story is it went pretty good after that. I haven't kept up with what his writings are and whatnot, but I just know that book Wool was now made into a television series that's on Apple.
That's
so
huge.
so there is opportunity in there. Some of it's story, a lot of the folks, some of them get viral. Who's the other big author that had done that? Hunger Games. I forget her name.
Brandon Sanderson.
Yeah, there might be another one too. I don't know Brandon, but the Hunger Games author did the same type of thing. So with a story like this, it could grow feet.
It absolutely could. We're thrilled about it, and especially with it being so like kind of not even community written, but so much input in terms of the writing. Max has been the one constant over it as an author. You know what I mean? It's like he's been using these different tools of different people helping, different technologies helping, but community reviewing and giving input. And so it's kind of an interesting way of writing a book that I don't know if we've really seen that before, have we?
Well, yes and yes. I think not your approach.
Yeah.
No. But they're not with crypto and everything built in.
Well, just like the community writing part of it,
Well, there are fan fiction type sites, right? You go to, and people will like provide all sorts of input. But yeah, I think this is unique. Again, I'll give you that. It's very unique. I think it's not a bad thing, but one of the things when I'm reading the chapters, and the reason I asked that question about the authors is there's a slightly different writing style and technique as I'm going through it and reading it. And I've been sending notes over to Max. Right. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're not criticism. I'm just like
I'm very appreciative.
I'm like,
that's the whole.
so
that's
I'm
what
like,
we like about this is that we get.
You could in theory, right? You could with a community write a better book.
Yeah, theoretically.
Right.
I agree.
That is, that more people are interested in. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is that delicate dance though of like it's like too many cooks in the kitchen, right? You get too much feedback, then it can be done as long as there's that kind of that leader, which Max has been basically being able to, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. If it is a great idea, let it be incorporated. as opposed to just trying to put anything in that, that people might contribute, or which we want to do as much as possible while not sacrificing, the quality of the story. And so fortunately, the feedback we've gotten has been so great, yours included, man. It's and even feedback like that, such as, hey, I noticed a different voice in this. Here's some of the elements I noticed that seem different. Like that's we can.
Yeah, I've read books that were clearly multi author,
right?
But they intentionally said that there was multiple author,
right?
And it was in different voices, but then that was on purpose.
On purpose, yeah. Mm-hmm. Kind of like when they see the TV shows that have different directors, like for a certain one.
Well, and it does provide a different kind of outlook. I mean, not so much in a different voice, but not like past tense, future tense, all that kind of stuff, or third party, first party, not those types of switches, but more like just the style, the writing, and what's happened with it. Yeah. And then there's the anthologies that people put together. And there's all sorts of things.
Well, shit, we're all familiar with the Bible. That has multi-authors.
yeah.
So it goes back to the beginning of time, man.
That's true. Well, I just got introduced to Mac, so that was my last thing. And I thought the introduction to Max was really good, and I won't ruin it for everybody else, but I thought the introduction to Max and the story came off really well. It was put together a little bit better than my introduction to Cole. Right?
Yeah.
The two main characters are there. Yeah. So, or two of the main characters. But I'm interested in hearing some more and seeing some more. So I got to read the rest of the book to get
the rest of the story. It's cool. It's so cool that you're doing it.
Yeah, the feedback is gold. It's so valuable from the.
Yes.
I mean, not just on the book, but the art, the tokenomics, the website. Shout out to Smo Spider. We were talking earlier about Don was asking, how can you avoid stuff like Ulti? And the answer is a lot of people use bug bounty programs, and we have a bug bounty program, but we only have like $5,000 in it for rewards. And a lot of companies, a lot of the really good hackers that do the bug bounty programs, they're doing the ones for like $1 million, $100,000 with like Amazon and Netflix and other big websites, So it's hard to get that attention. Just like in crypto, it's hard to break through the noise, and attention is the most scarce resource found online. It's people's attention.
Well, now I don't know the answer to this, so I'm not pointing a finger or asking negative questions. In your code, is everything immutable? Like typically in in NFT space, it's not immutable code because there's things you need to do over time. And so I haven't even looked at the background of this of your code to know whether or not it's immutable, whether or not you guys are updating as you go, or any of that stuff.
Yes. Go ahead.
As far as we know, because we have like 15 smart contracts. Some of them are immutable and set and forget and locked. And then other ones, such as the Rapture, because so in the Rapture, we have to have the ability to discern which addresses are active and benefiting the community and which ones are inactive, right? So we have to keep track of a whitelist of things like liquidity providers. Obviously, the treasury and the lottery are going to be safe from the Rapture because those are benefiting the community. But basically anything that's community. So we have to have access to that one for the Rapture so that we make sure that when all the coins are destroyed in the Rapture, that the ones come back to life that are benefiting the communities, and all the dead addresses and dust and people that have left the project or aren't paying attention, they're wiped out.
Frankly, I missed that in the beginning, right? That the Rapture was a thing because you can blame me for not reading the details, right? And then it both terrifies me and is like a super great idea, right? So, like the idea that those tokens can be clawed back. But I think, an aside, when we talk about like scam type stuff that's out there, there are contracts that actually do that are nefarious, right? Oh, yeah. It's like a really negative thing. But in this case, I see it as being a very cool thing, because obviously you've talked about it. And that's how I found out about it. And it's in the literature, right? It's in the documentation. But it is kind of a cool idea, incorporate that. I mean, I like the idea. So
it's like, hey, at the end of all the journeys, hey, those that are, it's just like that, almost like big payday. It's like, hey, people might just just put it in a smart contract for a day just to keep it safe. You know what I mean? But those that aren't paying any attention, well, again, it's dust and irrelevant anyway. But we don't think there's going to be that many not paying attention. Of course, that's just our belief. We can never predict the future, but we think that the scarcity is really going to play a big role in this project, as well as, you know, when you have the scarcity and you're letting air in the balloon, right, and you're not letting that air out of the balloon. Say Max says that boa constrictor around the balloon. It's they're looking at, and that just adds to the scarcity, right? But I think that by that point, when people see that there's stuff in their wallet worth that's quite valuable, whether that be the fuel cell, well, fuel cell is a smart contract, but if it's just a liquid token, I think they'll be paying enough attention to check the website, which we will have blasted in big red letters, you know, like, hey, reminder, Rapture coming. You know, it's not going to be just some secret thing. It's like anyone that's paying attention somewhat, they'll know about it, you know? They're not paying attention, they won't.
Now then, Rapture won't affect fuel cells at all, right?
Nope, because those are in a smart contract.
Yeah.
Yeah, just liquid dark.
Got it.
And if it's scotch taped to the outside, in other words, if it's a lottery winning that's stuck to the outside, or if it's the dart that's growing on the inside, those are also safe. So you don't need to like scrape your winnings, and you don't need to break open your fuel cell and like relock it. It's safe if it's in a fuel cell or on a fuel cell, if we look at it that way.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, I should probably go look and see what the story is with my stuff, because you probably
won some lotteries, man.
Well, I did win one, but then I was talking to Max, and I moved my my fuel cell that had it in there, and now doesn't show up on the screen. So I got to go figure out how it shows up, or if it shows up. And I know you guys are working on that. Max was talking about that.
Yes.
Stream, I think.
Have you tried it on Mintra? Have you tried looking for it on Mintra?
Well, I have the NFT, just not the. I'm trying to find
you can see the NFT, but when he connects the new wallet to the website, right, it's not offering him the ability to scrape the winnings. And our dev said they're definitely safe. They're still earmarked and stuff like that. But for some reason, the front end is not reading the lottery from the new address, but it's still there.
Even though it goes by fuel cell. So that's interesting. Yeah. So
because it's assigned to the fuel cell. It's not assigned to the address.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
And that's why that should be straightforward. But maybe there's something there because that's one of the things we realized on the first lottery, right? Is that the Chainlink Oracle had done the random number generator correctly and on time, and everything was done on time correctly. It's just the front end was not displaying it, and so that had to be updated to show it. So I'm wondering if it's just a front end update. If it's maybe if there's something on the front end that's been looking at the addresses and it needs to be changed just to be looked at the fuel cell only, you know, something like that.
Well, and there's so many APIs pulling information from so many places in blockchain. I had this problem with my WhatsApp, so I moved my WhatsApp my WhatsApp NFTs to a new address, and they wouldn't show up for 2 or 3 days. And their front end,
interesting.
You know, the Icosa Pro front end wouldn't read them at all until I went to the same machine, the same device that I used, and then for some reason it recognized them on one device but not another. I couldn't get the Icosa website to connect to another wallet and recognize the change in that wallet for some reason. And I don't know if, like I said, that's through the API or if that's through the Pulse chain updating or what that is. But it seemed like it was kind of the same idea of moving an NFT and getting the properties to work on the web page.
Yeah, that sounds very similar. You know, I'm wondering if, I guess we'd have to see. Yeah, there's got to be, I wouldn't just think it would be but if you've experienced that sounds eerily similar. You know, it's eerily similar.
Well, we've got, speaking of the book, we've got Red Squirrel in here.
Wait, Pops.
What's up? The winner of the J2 art contest right here in our midst.
Killing it.
And so he's also, you know, he's kind of deep into the code and things like that. They've been working with some really cool smart contracts over on Tetra and Icosa. Yes. Tetra and what's the other one there with Stu? but anyways, yeah, they're working with their NFTs and things over there, doing some really interesting stuff in the kitchen, combining NFTs, to create one super NFT between the ocelots, the sloths, and the squirrels, where you can go there and get like a super token or NFT out of the three of them. Like, it's really next level stuff. And I honestly, before we even get close to the rapture, I believe that people are going to have to go in on dark matter tokens. I think just like it was really hard for most people to get one whole Bitcoin at one point, it may become very difficult to get one whole dark to mint one whole fuel cell.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll probably be putting together something similar to Maximus DAO contract, where you can buy Lux. We haven't even gotten into this because we're so new, but dark matter is made up of Lux, Lux, or Luxite. And so 100 million Luxite make one dark. So you might have to get like a tenth of a dark and put it in a pool with other people that also have pieces of dark and do a smart contract like the Maximus DAO contract.
Yep.
Now, the weird thing is Maximus DAO contract has an expiration date, or a date where you can go and redeem and they know that the stake's going to be ended, that super stake from Maximus DAO and the perps. But yeah, we'll have to figure that out as how do people either sell that or cash out. And no, I take that back. Actually, it's going to be really easy now that I think
easy.
about it. Because I was thinking about another thing we haven't revealed.
It's just going to be pro rata. It's just going to be pro rata based off how much Lux was put in, and then how much Lux is yielded at the end, right?
Yeah.
Either from the lotteries or from the breaking open of the fuel cell, which I would imagine it would be maybe a vote system to break it open, because that's the difference between a hex stake and the fuel cell. Is the fuel cell can be in there in perpetuity, right?
Yeah, you don't ever have to end your fuel cell.
Correct.
Or you can just let that thing accumulate forever.
So I would imagine if someone decides to break it open, either it's done by vote or anyone can break it open once it's eligible. And then if that happens, it basically goes to everyone's wallet, so they have their tokens.
Well, what about this? What if in the future, hypothetically, we had a way to make each journey's fuel cells liquid?
Yes, that would be very interesting.
If we happen to come up with something in the future that makes them more liquid, then you can sell your share or your piece of it, just like you can sell your Maximus DAO tokens right now.
Yep.
You'll be able to sell your shares, connected to the Luxite or the pieces of dark. You can go and sell those on the open market anytime you want to cash out, and you can just let that fuel cell ride in perpetuity.
Yep. Very true. And
then it's almost like locking it in a vault at that point, because no one's really got the keys to like break open the piggy bank. And so you're just selling shares of the piggy bank as a piggy bank fills with dark matter.
Yep.
So I think that might be how it works out, but
that's how I would imagine it working.
But who knows? Like we're in a crazy space of bleeding edge technology where no one's tried to. I love this squirrel's shushing me already.
Yeah.
Like, shh.
Hey, I'm gonna step away from it. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Right. Sounds good, brother.
Gotcha. And again, anyone else who wants to jump in here, we got the link on Telegram and Twitter.
Please join.
Jump in.
Come
Just
say hi.
StreamYard link and show up. You don't have to turn your camera on if you don't want. I know some people are like, oh, I look like crap, but I want to come in and talk. Just come in and talk. We don't care.
Yeah, come on in. Just use your voice. Use an AI voice.
We still haven't been able to get the AI to turn on his camera.
Yeah.
Evil address, sorry.
Seriously, when you said there were two people in the waiting room, I was hoping it was. Hey, I'm very happy to see Christian. I thought it was going to be evil address though, just out of just not knowing because I couldn't see who's back there.
Yeah, it makes. He says calling a Hexkin copywriter. There you go. Shush, LOLs. In the first two lotteries, how many dark tokens went to each winner? That's a great question. Great question. So in the first lottery, each winner got 1.25 dark matter. So you got your money back plus a quarter of a dark matter on the first drawing. And then in the second drawing, you got 3 times that. So 1.25 times 3 is 3.75. So you got 3 1/4 in the second drawing.
3 3/4.
Yeah, 3 3/4. And then in the last drawing, it's going to be double the second drawing or 6x the first. So, you just double it and you got 7.5 dark token going to each winner in the third lottery drawing.
More than that. Let's see. We said,
Three
oh no,
and
you're right.
three-quarters.
You're right. We said 3.75, right? Yeah. So 3.75. So that times, oh yeah, you're right. 7.5. You're right. 7.
Yeah. So think about this. Like, imagine that you took one Bitcoin and you minted something with it. And then a little bit later, within a month, you get 7.5 Bitcoin back.
Yeah. It's unreal.
It's ridiculous. And it would be like, obviously you only have 1 in 20 chance. So if it was just the lottery, then you'd be like, well, yeah, I made 7.5 with this, but maybe I lost with the other 19. In the anti-gravity project, every fuel cell gets treasury yield. So even if you didn't win the lottery, over time, if you're patient, you'll get more than your dark matter back, especially in the first journeys where they get a higher percentage from the treasury.
Right.
So yeah, the first 2 lotteries won 1.1 1/4, then 3 3/4, and then 7.5 is what's going to be paid out in. Pull it up. I was running it earlier here on the lottery page. If you guys go, okay. So first of all, if anyone's new here, you go to agproject.io. You click on tools. Tools will pull up the beta page. So this page is in beta testing right now, but it's what we've been using for the lottery and the treasury. And so in 5 days, 10 hours, 17 minutes, 1,865 fuel cells are going to split, this almost 14 grand of dark right here. So yeah, it's pretty cool because all you got to do is so for instance, on Journey 2, I believe we're going to have more than 116,000 fuel cells minted in Journey 2.
Mm-hmm.
So you just take this amount of fuel cells right here, you times it by 0.048 because you got almost a 5% chance of winning, and that'll tell you how many total winners there's going to be in Journey 2. And then you just divide that number by 3 for the 3 drawings, and that'll tell you exactly how many winners are going to win the fuel cells.
Mm-hmm.
Right there. And if the math carries on, I believe that for now, the math would be 1.25, 3 3/4, 7.5 in the next one too. Also,
I would think.
Could be wrong, but I think the math works out the same way because you got 20% of these fuel cells going into the lottery.
Right.
And then you have the same math on the back end of the winners.
Right. But the bigger the lottery contract gets, the bigger the payouts get.
No, actually they don't because, well, yes and no. So like, yeah, they do get bigger if for instance, if there was a bonus added to the lottery, then the payment would go up. However, as long as the odds of winning are the same, the payouts will be the same. That makes sense? Because it's just a mathematical formula.
Right. Right, because the odds dictate how many winners there are, and if there are more entrants, then there are more winners. So even though there's more in the lottery, there are more winners amongst whom to divide that. And so you're saying that it still ends up being the same.
Yeah, because right now
the same.
Right now the lottery fills up and empties every journey.
Correct.
It fills up and it empties. It pays completely out. Even if people don't scrape, it's already earmarked in the smart contract.
Correct.
The treasury is different because the treasury bloats over time.
Correct. That's true.
And so like it is paying out more every journey, but it's still paying less than it's taking in. So it's taking in 77% and it's paying out 3.
Correct.
And then it's taking in 77%. And it's paying out 5.7.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's taking in 77% and it's paying out like closer to 10% in the first 3 drawings. So if you go here to the darker paper, this is Yeah, this is the darker paper right here. You can add these payments up right here. So 3 plus 2.7 plus 2.43 plus 2. So by journey 4, the lottery will be paying out. Let's see here. What is that? Pull up my handy dandy calculator right here. So yeah, 3 plus 2.7 plus 2.43 plus 2.187. So in the first 3, if you add all those up, you got 10%. So 77% is going in, 10% is coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually, you know, this number grows significantly. That's why it grows all the way to 29% after the 33 journeys. So yeah, so it'll be paying out basically 30% of everything in there every 45 days.
Yeah.
And this is when we're, you know, somewhere, and we definitely are going to have some graphs and some charts that show visually what's going on here. It'll show the bloat of the treasury and the exhaustion of the treasury. But yeah, somewhere around, I think journeys maybe 13, 14, 15 is where it like peaks and starts to decline.
Right.
So really, it's like these first few journeys are amazing to lock in because you're going to break even on your one dark sooner. The earlier you get in, the sooner you're going to break even on your one dark that you sacrificed or minted into the lottery and the treasury system.
Absolutely.
That makes sense. This is incredibly deep, crazy stuff.
I know some might be lost, but you know,
yeah, and if
like
I
to
had
learn every element of the project as we
we're working on visual aids. We're working on breaking this stuff down to be much more digestible and spoon fed for people.
Yeah.
But for now, those that are geeking out on the code and geeking out on the game theory, they've got a really clear advantage, I think, with seeing the numbers and being like, oh, this is such a better deal than this, and this is such a better deal than this. You know, first. That's why we call them the Michael Jordan rookie cards, and we gave away close to 5,000 of those for free that we minted and sent to them.
Yep.
So
could be the best airdrop of all time.
Yeah, we shall see. They've been talking a lot about.
So far, it's a damn good one, dude. So
the
far,
Bitcoin airdrop from Hex and how much that's worth is something like $1 billion today. Someone tweeted.
Right.
And in my opinion, I think very, very few Bitcoin holders got their free claim. I think that big stack of Bitcoin that got the airdrop of Hex was probably mostly Richard's stack, is my guess, because he has a ton of Bitcoin. So, you know, he was like, hey, I want to include this community in my airdrop because
of course
he had so much Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I still regret the time he asked about whether or not he should open it up to ETH users, that I was so narrow-minded that I was like, no, I didn't think he should. I mean, not that he listened to me, but that was my feeling at the time.
Right.
But it might have been a different game for sure.
it might have been. There's still like a crazy amount of VCs that hold insane amounts of Ethereum, you know, and those guys could probably have come in and done a lot of damage to Hex had he opened it up to the ETH holders. But again, who knows how much ETH he had, and he might have been one of the only participants to throw the ETH in there.
Yeah,
right.
So it might not have changed them too much. Smo says, I would come on, but I got a sick doggy I'm taking care of now. Oh, take care of that doggy. You're good. You're good. We'll definitely want to. Meanwhile, we are earning yield on multiplier. Yeah, definitely.
Hey, here's a good one. I went back and checked, and I now show that I have fuel cells 1. So there you go.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
So it has updated and shown the scrape feature.
Updated. Sounds like.
Well, I'm assuming I didn't win anything in the second one. I only won in the first one because it's got 2, as I had 1, 2 in the first. But.
Okay. Yeah. So and well, I guess if you won 2, then yeah, it's possible that you didn't. I would just pay attention to the third, because if you won in one of the lotteries, I would imagine you're likely to win in in the other drawings as well. Like if you won more than one, I would imagine just stats wise that you'll likely, especially if you didn't, and that you want to win in the third. That's the one you want to win in. That's the one 6 times bigger than the first, the payout. So hopefully you win in that third one and bypass that second one.
I hope so. I hope it doesn't matter to me, really. I mean,
Yeah,
it matters, but I mean,
But you scraped your first winnings, right, with the scrape button, and that went well.
No, I did not.
Oh, okay.
No, if you did, then those would be new payouts for sure.
Yeah,
right.
It would have been smart to do that.
Are you waiting for the third drawing to just scrape them all at once? Because you could do that too.
Yeah,
well,
scrape them. It's liquid. It's liquid token just sitting there. But let me ask you this: does it say that you won 2 fuel cells and that you have a total of 2.25 to scrape?
It says 2.5 to scrape and.
Oh, that's what I mean. 2.5 to scrape. And okay, yep.
So that's definitely 2 winners from the first lottery.
Yep. So I would think in the third lottery. I mean, again, nothing's guaranteed, but it's random. But if you won 2 in the first, you're probably likely, and you didn't win any in the second. That part's important. Then I would imagine you're likely to win something in the third. It's only just 1 in the first, then I'd say, but 2. That means that if the math's right, there were at least roughly on average 41, 42 used, and so, or more, you know what I mean, or minted. So I mean, we're not counting your pockets or your fuel cells. We're just trying to do some. Man, I would think pay attention to the third drawing for sure.
Yeah. Listen. But how it works out, it works out. We'll
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Hey, I have an off question for you. Maybe
Please.
you guys can answer about the book, because it's going up on Amazon, right? At some point.
Yes.
I don't know if you actually addressed this, or maybe you did, but there's a possibility that you'll earn income off of that, off the book, right? And so, is there you guys have included that in your planning, or what did you?
Honestly, I looked at the book, and especially more so, the main reason that we're putting the book on Amazon is because you have to have at least an Amazon ebook in order to post one on Audible, because we wanted to get the audio book out there, because way more people listen to Audible than read right now. And so we realized that the eyeballs and the foot traffic over on Audible are insane. There are people that listen to like a book a day over there. And so that was one of my idea, was to get the audiobook to Audible as soon as possible, and it pique anyone's interest over there in the project. That was like a form of marketing to me, was to reach out to audiobook lovers, because a lot of them aren't in crypto. You're not fighting against the noise in Twitter against 10,000 other projects. And if they like the book for the book's sake, maybe there's a link or a video that says, hey, if you want to learn more about the crypto that inspired this novel, come over here and watch this 10-second video.
Well, yeah. What I was kind of getting at when I was thinking about this is all of us, right? They're part of the community. Providing input and creating a better book and better visuals, however people are contributing, would make the book, whether it's an Audible form or on Amazon directly, right? More successful and draw more eyes.
Right.
So they're just tying it to the value proposition, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I wonder if we do, depending on how much revenue we get from the book or the audio book, I'm wondering what interesting ways we could use that.
Yes.
In the community. First thing is, like, maybe we'll just have a vote and have the audience, the community say, do we want to do a buy and burn? Like, if we make $15, let's just say $15 a month off the book, do we want to go buy and burn $15 of Dark and just send
that would be really good revenue, by the way, in self-publishing. So
$15 a month. Sorry, I was trying to shoot low.
Yeah, that's good.
Stars with it.
No, it's good.
Yeah,
that's not bad.
Do all sorts of things, or we could just add it to the next meetup. Like take all that money and put it into the next meetup or party that we're going to have.
Yep. Exactly.
That's good. I hadn't considered that angle at all. That's a good question, Crispy.
Yeah.
Very,
Well,
very
no commitment. I just asked him whether or not you had done
Yeah.
that. But it would make sense to me that somebody who really liked this project might put more value back into it. So, no promises, right?
Right. No promises from the work of others. Just a lot of feedback. 'Cause like I said, this is without the audience. You really or the community. No cryptocurrency is worth anything without a
Right.
community. You can have a few VCs like just trading money back and forth or pumping a token, but unless you get people interested in that token, either for gains or for memes or other things, it doesn't matter. It's just not going anywhere because money is a shared fiction, and if you don't have anyone to share it with, then it doesn't have any value.
Right.
So interesting.
Yeah, I'm with you.
No.
I'm with you on that.
Sorry if it seems just real quick so you know, Max, I'm just scheduling some meetings with some of the explainer folks.
Oh, great.
Got one tomorrow at 10, FYI.
Okay, I'll write that down. Good to know. So let's look at the chart here. The chart of destiny. As I don't know what chart of destiny is pretty good. I have the calendar of destiny here in paper form, but you have obviously the first minting phase went pretty well. And then, of course, we had our first lottery payout that lined up with the FUD, the Interpol FUD. We had the second payout that lined up with the Ulti dump, and so this mirrors, because of Hart's Law, this mirrors Pulse and Hex and all the tokens that were tied into liquidities. SolidX, I believe, has the most liquidity still, even including the pool. But basically, we got this minting phase going on from January 11th to January 22nd. That's the next chance to mint. And so how synchronistic and serendipitous would it be if somewhere in this window is when we got some good SEC news about Richard Hart? Like that would be kind of crazy if it happened in this window or in this minting window. And it would be really crazy if we had some pullbacks during these lotteries, lining up with the lotteries, because everything we've done in this project, including launching, has been very, very, I don't know, just like great timing. Almost like it's meant to be kind
fortuitous. Yeah. It's been
fortuitous. That's a great word. Fortuitous. So we have no idea what the community charts are going to do during these, but it would be very, very interesting to see if our pumps, because I believe we're going to have a fake pump in January, like a little spike that everyone's like, here it is, and then it pulls back. That's my guess, being in crypto for several cycles. We usually have that fake out pump, and then it comes back down, and then we have the real pump. And so I'm thinking maybe the real pump happens around the mint for Journey 3 or the mint for Journey 4, which, let's see, if this mint for Journey 3 is in the beginning of March, then the next one would be 35 days or 34 days after this. So that would put us around April. I don't know. I would need to actually count it out. I can't think of it on screen, but it would be somewhere in like April 15th, I think. Would be the next minting phase.
Yep.
I mean, we should,
right around there.
Yeah, it's in the code. I probably just ask like what day these are, but
Dune, it'll be sick just to be like, oh, Dune, when checked by Dune Analytics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking is it'll be really interesting to see what happens during the 11th to the 22nd of January, and what happens around the 24th of February to the math is really hard when you're going across months that are 30 days. Actually, February is 28, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it would be somewhere over here. So it'll be very, very interesting to see how the pulse chain chart and the Richard Hart core coins line up with our 45-day cycle.
I know. I can't
Because
wait.
it's been very interesting so far.
You would imagine that they'd have a certain range, and then ours would, if you compare it comparatively, it would have that like 45-day happening that still rhymes with that, but it's still its own pattern. But it'll be so interesting to see, because once people see how the air is not, there's no air going into the balloon, it kind of becomes its own little. I mean, we still have Hart's Law at play, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see, man. I've got some ideas.
Yeah.
I know. I wanted to see what that sell-off would have been like with the second lottery without any of the FUD. You know what I mean? Like, because it turned out first couple of days, dark was a better thing to hold on to than any of the core tokens were, and that's not what we were expecting, you know. But we weren't expecting FUD either.
It's funny. It's funny how liquidity works some way.
Yes, it is
in your favor.
Exactly.
Yeah, if we look at here on this SolidX, this pair with 60K of liquidity in it right here, and then we switch it to, oh wait, no, I got to do the Pulse one. This one has the most liquidity, but I got to do the Pulse one to see the difference in Pulse. And Pulse is the longest chart, because that one's
down there, third one down.
One.
Yep, that one.
Right here. So if you go here and you switch it to Pulse instead of, so this is just in dollar terms at $1 to 20 to 21 bucks right now. But if you go in Pulse terms, it's pretty interesting too, because you've got, we hit the log, and yeah, we started off with about 14,500 Pulse per dark, and now we're at 454,000 Pulse per dark. So that's a pretty good, I mean, how do we measure that, baby? Take this baby here.
Yeah.
Measure it up here. Oh, it's moving the whole screen. Let me try it again. I want to do it from here. Oh, I don't know why it's doing that. Let me try that again. Let me just click this and go up. There we go. So that one is with Casey's candle, I believe. I can't see it because this blue thing's covered.
It looked like 7,700% or 8,000%. 8,024%.
Yeah, so we got about an 80 at our all-time high. We were 80x gain on Pulse, and right now we're only at a 4x.
Still not bad. Not bad.
It's not bad.
Not bad.
Oh, I had to click and let go. That's why.
Yeah, you got to let go.
I'll learn charts one day, but yeah. So the all-time high is 94x.
Yeah, you're right. Yep, you're going right to the top of that little wick.
It's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you guys want more Pulse, obviously the PTGC and UFO are always showing these charts, being like, hey, check out how much we've gained on Pulse. So if you love Pulse, you might want to hold some of these alien tokens that are gaining on Pulse right now. And this one so far is gaining on Pulse. We'll see what this next lottery does and what happens with the market in 5 days. 5 days and 9 hours. But either way, I mean, let's see, what's 9 hours from now? It's like
9 hours from now would be 9:20 p.m. Mountain Time, 8:20 Pacific, 10:20 Central, and 11:20 East Coast.
Yeah. So this lottery is gonna be drawn at night.
Yeah, this will be a fun one. And 5 days, that'll put us on Friday night, dude. Friday night.
Yeah.
It'll be make for a good Friday night stream.
Definitely. Definitely.
Or it'll be 9. It'll be roughly like 10. It'll be roughly 10 Mountain, because I didn't add the 34 minutes.
Yeah, this will be a nice late night stream on Friday to see this pay out right here.
Yes, it will be.
And who knows what the chart will be that weekend? You know, Saturday and Sunday, we'll see who dumps and who holds, and we'll also see people that are going to be buying, I believe, to mint, because there's a lot of people that are like, oh, I only have 20 dark, or I only have like 10 dark, and I've already minted all of them in J1, so I need to buy some more to mint for J2. And so, yeah, that's
Right.
it's going to be interesting. See what happens
Yeah.
with the buyers and the sellers on the 10th of January.
Yeah, I'm showing, like you were saying, I'm showing about 92,000 in liquidity outside of PHUX.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the web looks pretty good. I mean, it's an interesting little web.
Yeah, can you do you have the ability to share that? I think you sent me one web there on DMs. I was looking at that one. In the meantime, let me jump in here. Are the winners from the first two lotteries excluded from winning the third? Yes, they are. So if your fuel cell has won a lottery, it's not included in the others. Your fuel cell can only win one lottery.
Now that's not your wallet, just your fuel cell.
Yeah, your fuel cell, not your address. Users holding fuel cells pay more yield when other players' users vaporize. Yes. So if these 116, let me pull it up on the beta page, go to Treasury. We have 116. It used to be 558. And some people accidentally vaporized their fuel cells thinking that they had to do that to get into the lottery or something like that. And we're like, no. So they vaporize. So every time this number goes down, your yield from the Treasury goes up. So this is just like the WhatsApp NFTs. If someone breaks their piggy bank, you get their yield.
So if they vaporize, they get their dark, but they lost their NFT.
Yeah, the NFT is gone forever, and any future benefits are gone forever.
All right, everybody, vaporize.
that's what Red Squirrel is always in chat and Telegram, and people are like, should I vaporize for this? He's like, yes, definitely. And I'm like, hey, I don't know if they know that you're trolling them. So, yeah, the less you're competing with everyone in your journey for the Treasury payout, just like we're competing with everyone in Hex with T-shares for our payout. That's a great question, Smo. I'm here for the tech. Good to see you, Fast Abdul. The tokens that don't suck pool is paying 164% APR.
That's not
What are
bad.
you waiting for? Holy, is it really? I know that we got gauged, and I know I threw as many votes as I could at it the last round. But let me open it up here and just go to Flux.io, and we'll look up the tokens that don't suck wallet here. But that's insane. And maybe it's easier. I think it's actually easier to do the 2 Flux. So go to 2 Flux. Let's launch the app, of course. Yeah, I know it's dangerous. And then we're going to search for, just throw in dark here. And here's the tokens that don't suck. Holy crap. Yeah, it's paying 164% APR right now. And it's got, it says total value locks 3,793. What that means, because I think there's, even with us getting kicked in the teeth, I think it's still like 20K in there.
Yeah,
So,
that's what I thought.
But either way, like if you guys want some great APR here, and I wonder how this is. I haven't used the 2 Flux pool or liquidity providing very much.
Yeah, it's
I wonder if you can see this.
Yeah, I know Fast is in the chat, but the APRs are it's a complex calculation to figure out what those are, and then there's also a little bit of delay. I believe this is all subgraph based, so there's sometimes a little bit of delay in getting the data up there. So it's best to kind of look at it over time. If you want to look at the TVL, if you go over to PHUX, you'll see the TVL more clearly.
If I help over which one?
On PHUX, if you went to PHUX.
On PHUX.
PHUX, yeah.
PHUX.
On Fux. On
Fux.
Fux. I try to avoid saying that all the time, but it's fun. It is fun to say.
It's just that it doesn't want to pull up. Whenever I go to
you do Fux.io, make sure that it's the right site and all that. But I always found I had to do a connection or whatever on a wallet. But if you're on pools, right, and you can search by wallet, or filter by token, put in dark under filter by token. It's got a little glass there, and you can just find it real quick.
You
Oh,
can
right.
probably do a Control F.
Right there.
Yeah.
There it
Just
is.
type in dark. This will give you a little better read on.
Looks like
What's
it's not even
happening?
pulling up.
You might have to drop in the address the first time.
Yep.
Yeah, let me drop in the address. I'll just go here.
You don't have the address memorized by now, Max?
Yeah.
I got the beginning and end.
7C5.
Does that count? There we go.
And so click there, yeah.
Yeah,
And
tap
no.
tokens that don't suck. 50% of it's dark, 3% two fucks.
So
You
yeah,
got 5%, 5%, 5%, 5%. So if you'll notice, there's Quattro Cinco
Mm-hmm.
spread amongst Nope, Solid X, Rat Pulse, and X right here.
Now, now go ahead and click the somewhere on the body, like right there.
Okay.
All right, so you see the volume going across there, and then if you
Yeah.
click TVL, it'll show you the TVL.
There we go.
Okay, that
And
makes
this
yeah.
matches the chart. So we had 47K in TVL, and now we're down to 17K TVL.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, depending on where you put your votes, I don't know if you voted on Fox or 2Fox, but that APR percentage, 52 to 124 nakedly on Fox, is really good, right?
Yeah.
And then the additional incentive on 2Fox makes it even better, right? But you can
Right,
see
right.
you can see what the balances are. Now, when people go in here to add, this might be, so I'll say it this way carefully, because I'm not trying to get people wrecked or screwed up or anything, but based on your guys' scenario where you're like, hey, if you get dark and you want to provide liquidity, it's okay with us if you dump it, right? Because you're
Right.
looking at the chart and everything.
Yeah.
Some people come in here and say, well, I don't want to go get all these tokens. You don't have to. You can come in and just simply deposit a small amount of dark, and what'll happen is it'll rebalance and buy the other tokens.
Yep.
So you just have to be mindful that there is some slippage, right? But so you could check that out if you wanted to just add dark in here rather than go get all the tokens and buy them all off the market. It will do it for you through the Fox pools.
Yeah, it'll automatically balance because they forked Balancer. So Balancer was the same idea as you put a dark in here and it balances it according to this ratio, right?
Yeah, it would essentially take, if you put a full dark in there, it would take 50% of it and go buy the 30%, the 5%, the 5%, the 5% of the other tokens.
Yeah.
So would it look like dark sales? Would it look like a sell of dark?
Well, it would. Yeah, it would. It would. Yeah.
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 50% of it at least.
Yeah. So normally when we're telling people to go into a pool like this, it's not the first thing you would do. You would tell them to
Right.
kind of get equalized because you don't want to take too much slippage. But if your aim is to sell the dark anyways, the slippage might be just fine here. I mean, this is a pretty big, relatively big pool compared to
Right.
Yeah, and I think it's going to get a lot bigger in the future, just because
Yeah, I believe so.
some of the whales and people that have a lot of these tokens, the hardest token of all right now to get is the 2Fox and the X.
Right.
Those are the ones that even when the market dips, these ones are still there's still not a lot of people selling them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's really interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I know that the mystery box is sitting on a bunch of Solid X. In fact, the mystery box is when the mystery box provided liquidity originally between the two pairs, it was like 170K before we got, before the market got kicked in the teeth a couple times.
Mhm.
So yeah, this goes up dramatically and comes down dramatically with Hart's Law and the rest of the ecosystem. But that's a great APR right there. I hope we can just keep pushing and pushing and pushing this, even if the price of everything in our ecosystem goes up.
Yeah, dude, there's so many attractive things. It's like the liquidity, the APR, the lottery, the yield. I mean, there's so many different hooks for the project. It's like we need to find out how to best communicate it to people that don't have the same brain as Crispy Man here.
Yeah.
Well, I think one of the things you could do with people is that are part of the community is just encourage them to go get their own 2Fox and to apply those votes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That would be one way. And then of course you could recruit additional members. There are some big members already that we all have a lot of voting power, right? So there's a bunch of us that were in here already, but you could recruit others that have buying power, have the voting power.
So real quick, just break it down for those that might be new. So to get voting power for $2, what do you do?
Yeah. So if so real high level, I'll do my best to describe this. I forget what $2 is a fork of, but it's a fork of another protocol, which allows you to basically create an emission of a token. In this case,
right.
$2, right? And so that $2 is used as a reward, right? It's like Ink or BBC or whatever. And so this protocol is set up so it provides an emission of this token as a reward, right?
Right.
And so then people who hold that token can decide what the percentage votes are going to be.
Gotcha.
They can vote for the pool that they want.
Any token, any amount of that token, they have a certain vote.
It has to be. It has to. Yeah, it's not any token, but it's whatever. And this is where Fast would give us a better answer than this. But
is he in chat giving us a seminar right now?
Yeah, he is. He's been there talking every once in a while. He was. But anyway, it has to be a gauged pool in the first place. And if it's a gauged pool, then people can vote for it. Engaged just means the inner circle of PHUX, the Fux guys, they had decided that this pair was worthy of providing incentive.
Right.
And because they decided it was worthy, now it can be incorporated. You can go to, you could actually take that $2 that you have, go vote for the pool on the $2 platform, and whatever pair has the most votes gets the most emission.
Right.
And so just a way of sending out those tokens. And then me as a user, I go to Fux and I deposit my tokens into the LP,
right?
And I receive an LP token. And then when I go to $2, what I'm able to do is stake it, and that's where I earn the APR.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
that's helpful.
It's an interesting way of doing things for sure. I like it. We're over there in the pools. I got pools there myself. So.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. You can allocate where the APR and the votes contribute to that. Yeah, anyone that wants to vote up the pool, very much appreciated.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a growing ecosystem. I did share my screen out if you want to throw it up, Max, and I'll just show you what I was talking about.
There, Max?
Yep, let me put this up right here. So this is, go ahead.
Yeah, so this is my, it's just a snapshot of APY and pairs that are out there. And so, one of the funny things we had seen right away is the pony. I don't know if you figured out who that was, but somebody added pony there it was a little bit higher early on.
Yeah.
But it's $842 worth of liquidity right now. But your top pair is the Solid X at 60K. And this is outside of PHUX, which we just saw is around 20, about 17 or 20, right? Something like that. But about 60,000 there, followed by X at 14, 15K, Pulse at 14.5K, and then Gelato, Pony, Fires down here at the bottom. In terms, and one of the reasons you saw things happen the way they did in, the drawdown in the last dumpage rate, your number one pair that gets the most, and this is pretty common for a lot of tokens, particularly new, the one that's getting the most volume per liquidity dollar is the Pulse pair, right?
Right.
And so what you see in terms of drawdown and price is going to be related to the amount of volume pairs are going to get. And, the liquidity that's out there. And then in terms of looking at just size, and just pull this screen up. So this is the liquidity web of what we have for dark, and this is just visually showing you the sizing of how these are set up. But,
hell yeah, that's awesome.
That's cool.
I tried out to kill you.
Yeah, let's see here. Swizzle says also he could sell the NFT with the lottery winnings still attached, correct?
Sure
Yeah.
could.
So if you don't want to scrape those Michael Jordan rookie cards, then you could continue to like leave that attached, and then it would raise the cash value of that NFT if
Yeah.
you sold it in the future. Because anyone that bought that NFT could immediately scrape the lottery and get a payday or a rebate on what they paid, and leave the fuel cell intact to continue collecting the yield from the treasury.
Yep, because that fuel cell is already worth
game theory.
Yeah, that fuel cell is already worth enough to just scrape and mint the next journey. Like, you know what I mean? The two winners right there are already worth enough to, get 1.25 tokens liquid. So we're already at that one. Those winners already have a cash value at least baked into them, whereas all the rest will have a cash value at the end of journey one when the yield is paid out, the 3% of the treasury divided amongst all participants.
Correct.
All participating fuel cells, I should say, not the participants, unless you look at the fuel cell as the participant.
Yeah.
Randy.
Hello, everyone. He says, "Hey, Randy, missed your live stream. Darkrai came on first. I didn't. This is how crazy this ecosystem is. Everyone's streaming. Everyone's doing stuff. You don't even know what. You can't catch everything. And so he says, "No worries. I didn't know he was streaming. Yeah, it's. I should have checked his too. What about Weep? I don't know. Wepe.
I'm guessing that's
that. Not wrapped Pepe.
Or wrapped Epe, whatever it
wrapped
is.
Eep.
Yeah, wrapped Eep.
I didn't hit the lottery last time. Can the devs take a look at my fuel cells to make sure they're working as intended? We'll have them check those out.
No, dude, Swizzle, you didn't win the lottery because you're hoping to win on the third drawing, dude, which is the biggest of all.
Yeah.
So it's good that you didn't win in the second. Now, if you don't win in the third, then hey, you're still getting the yield. But if you don't win in the first or second, that's like the most exciting position to be in, because that third drawing means you're more likely to win the third than you are the first or the second, obviously, because you already didn't win the first or the second, but they're still eligible.
Yeah. Moonnut says,
yeah, just send them in. Don't we have a mailing address, Max, that you can mail your fuel cells to, and we can have the devs look at them in the lab?
Yeah, we check the oil on them. We run some diagnostics.
You have to drive them in, I think.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to change the transmission on them. Moonnut says, every time I try to scrape my lottery winnings, it just spins and spins, never completes.
Did you check your wallet to make sure? Have you refreshed the site to make sure that it still says that there are winnings to scrape? Because I've seen that before, like especially in testnet. And when I saw that, not saying that this is what you're seeing, but I did see that it paid out, and it still showed my the amount on there. But yet when I refreshed, it showed that they'd already been scraped. Because if I tried to push it again, it would give me an error, basically being like, letting me know that they'd all been scraped.
Yeah, and sometimes you have scraped. The question is, does the window pop up from Rabby or MetaMask, and have you pay the confirmation, or does it not pull the window up? Because
Good point.
That's what I'm wondering.
Is it triggering that?
If it does pull it up and you do it and it spins, chances are you can go look at your transactions on the blockchain or MetaMask and see if they've completed or not. But if it doesn't pull that up, then there's probably a problem between the front end and the connection to the wallet.
Yep.
Them talking to each other.
So let us know. Send us a message in the TG if you still have that issue. I scraped some just the other day, and it worked fine for me. Just so you know, I was using Brave and I was using MetaMask on that specific device. And so sometimes different browsers can help. I like Brave just because it's Chromium, but basically baked down to the basics. You don't have all the garbage and bloat that Chrome has, but you have all the functionality still.
Yeah. Patrick says, so if my math is correct, there should only be 105,183 eligible winners for the third lottery. Does that sound correct? Let's see. There were
all the
36,000 that have been paid out already.
Yep.
So like
got that from the total participating number. Should be.
Yeah.
Is that what you're getting, Matt?
I think so. So 1865 are how many winners there are each round.
Right.
So 1865 times 2 equals 3730.
Right.
So we take the 116 thousand, and we minus the what I say 3760.
3730, you said.
3730. Yeah. So yeah, that equals around 112,000
Okay, yeah, so there's still
fuel cells. And out of those 112,000, 1,865 are going to win. So actually, if you divide this, I don't know if I divide one by the other or which one, but if you divide that by the 1865,
if you do a small number first, it'll let you know the percentage.
yeah, this is not the right percent. So you got to take 1865 divided by about
105.
112,000.
Yeah, or yeah, 112.
And so you actually have like a 0.0014% chance of winning, or actually it's 1.6% chance
Mm-hmm.
winning that one.
Yep, that's right. Because total is 4.8. Each are 1.6.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but maybe it does go up towards the end because you have removed them, but maybe not.
Exactly. It's like it's almost like variable change. Well, sort of different than that, but yes, you have to look at it that way. It's like I said, if you haven't won in the first or second, then you have a full on like 1 in 20 chance of winning. Well, slightly more because exactly, it would be more because the winners have already been reduced from that pile. So, but it's still a fixed number. This will be a great thing to show on the Dune, you know?
Yeah, definitely. And then we got Seeking Excellence says, "Hey fam, hey, what's up, Seeking Excellence?" And Die Hard.
What up, Seeking Excellence?
Die
Hard
for a change. Yay!
I know that. I know that person. I know Tim.
Die Hard.
No, Tim. But I am a diehard Hexagon too.
Yes, sir.
Moonlight can send me the fuel cell. I can check it out.
There you go. Yeah.
A lot of love for Die Hard Hexagon in here. That was really cool. So anyways, yeah, I was gonna jump into. We've gone over the countdowns. We've gone over the chart, and really, I don't think there's much else other than usually I jump into Telegram and show people where they can find information on the book and the art. Oh, and the thing I wanted to stress again this time is that the art submissions this time are going to be done on Twitter first, and then we'll have a place in Telegram to post the leaders.
Yeah.
So whoever gets the most likes and retweets on Twitter is going to be in the running to win the art contest for J3. So we're already starting that right now. So you can submit art for J3, but what you want to do is I'll type in what we need to do on Twitter and Telegram and who you need to tag. And then you just do like, J3 fuel cell art contest and put your images up there and we'll go off of likes and retweets.
And what I'd recommend too is if once you tweet your image or you tweet whatever your contribution is, make sure to copy the link of that tweet and share that in the chat as well, because that's just a fast way to make sure that everyone can easily like your contribution.
Yeah, and I haven't come up with any rules for the meme contest, but we have the meme topic as well in Telegram. And right. And the meme if you guys get like a really good meme on Twitter, we'll be throwing some points and some dart your way as well. So go into the meme thread and play with the memes.
And everybody go review at least one chapter.
Yeah, everyone to jump in here. In fact, I'll pull it up right now. Here we go. We go back to
better the book. The more reviews, the better the book. The better, more eyeballs will find the project.
Yeah. So if you go to t.me/anti-gravity saga and then you click on Rings of Dust book right here, here's the document with the first draft of the 25 chapters. Grab a chapter, review it. Not only are you going to get 1,000 collective points per chapter that you review, but if you review 10 chapters, you get a dark token as well. And like I said, we had someone rip through the entire book and I gave him a little bit of a bonus there on top of what he'd earned with the collective points and darks, because he went through it so fast, and did the whole book, all 25 chapters. So yeah, it pays to participate, you know. So
Definitely.
yeah, very, very, very cool. We've also got someone sent me these AI podcasts about our project. So they'll feed information into the project, and then if you listen, like this one AI really got into the heavy Hitler stuff and the squirrels, and I was like, oh goodness, it's picking up some weird stuff. But it's really interesting because they talk about the rapture, they talk about the evil address, and it legit sounds like a straight up podcast. Here, let me play a couple seconds for you here.
Collective points, okay.
And you earn them by being active, by voting on artwork, taking part in discussions, basically just being a valuable member of the community.
So it's like a reward system for engagement. But what can you actually do with these collective points?
Well, you can use them to influence decisions about the project, to get access to exclusive content. You can even win prizes in those lotteries we talked about. But the biggest prize of all, that's winning one of their art contests.
Hold on. Art contest. You mean this crypto project with the heavy Hitler mascot?
They've made art a core part of the project, yeah. And these aren't just your average online contests. They're a big deal in their ecosystem. Like the grand prize, that's 1 million collective points.
1 million.
So yeah, as you can imagine, winning that gives you a pretty big voice in the community.
Okay, I'm officially hooked. This is wild. Complex,
so crazy, dude.
So that's AI. Those aren't two people
instantly created.
Instantly created, where it sounds like a straight up podcast where they're talking like he forgets words and phrases. Really what's it called? The evil address. And I'm like, how did they program these little nuances and inflections and tone into this? It sounds so.
Do you know what platform they used?
I
need to ask because I want to mess with it.
I know that one of the people here, and I don't want to out him, but he was showing me some of this cool stuff that he was playing with.
See if he's willing to drop it in here.
Yeah, if you're willing to drop in the platform or the app that you're using where you can feed stuff like that. And then there's another one about the book where they're doing a
book review
podcast about the book Rings of Dust, and it sounds like two people, just like a regular podcast
talking about a book.
So this is Google's Notebook LM.
Yeah, shout out to Swizzle for doing that.
Swizzle's
so cool.
There, that was from another one here, another guy here, but Swizzle's also sent me some of those really cool AI podcasts.
So did he do it? Did he do it the same? I would imagine he used the same tool then. So those are the exact same voices.
Yeah, those are the same voices. So I assume it is. Diehard Hexagon, totally awesome.
So it's a note-taking research assistant, the ultimate tool for understanding the information that matters most to you, built with Gemini, your personalized AI research assistant. So you upload your sources, and you can include YouTube videos, dude. That's crazy. Google Docs, we could upload the whole book, which is probably what they did, and then Notebook will summarize them, make most interesting connections, instant insights. How did they listen and learn on the go? Audio overview, turn your sources into deep dive discussions with one click. That's what it is. Dude, that's crazy. I can't wait to do this with some more things in the community. I wish we customized the voices, though, so it didn't sound like everyone else's. So people could literally be like, damn, look at these podcasts.
So Diehard Hexagon says the book is fabulous, making my way through it. Make sure you DM me a feedback. It doesn't have to be like a book report or anything. It can just be
book report. Yeah.
It can be like 3 sentences of like, hey, I really liked this part of the chapter. This part didn't make sense, or I was falling asleep reading this chapter. Let me know, and because we want to reward you with the collective points in the dark matter for helping us build out this book.
Dude, what do you think about this, Max? I like the idea of a book report, and we'd like to see a diorama. And if you could, with the shoebox, if you could make an electronic diorama of this project with the characters. How many collective points will we give out to someone that does a diorama like book report of?
Dude, I would give a lot of points for a diorama.
How many? Let's throw it out there.
I'd say 10,000. 10,000.
So it can be an electronic
diorama.
3D would be sick, but even if it was just an image, that is accurate with some of the characters from some of the previous posts we've seen, we'll give 10,000 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Totally. I love that. I love that. And a bunch of people actually jumped in and made 4,000 points yesterday by retweeting that video that we got from Crypto Trainer 13.
Yeah, Post Chain Trainer, right?
Yeah, Crypto Trainer 13 is his name, and they went and followed him and retweeted it. And I think I've got about maybe close to 12 people that all earned 4,000 points and don't have to worry about being an informant anymore.
Hell yeah, dude.
So that was really cool. We should probably come up with something, a homework assignment for them today. I think related to the book. What do you think?
Wait, are you sure it's Crypto Trainer 13?
Trainer, not trader.
Trainer, I know. Crypto Trainer 13. This guy?
He's got the Dexter picture on his profile.
Yeah. I'm not seeing any post on X since November or December 5th.
Yeah, I don't know if he has a post here.
See this guy, right?
Yeah, because we're waiting for him to post ours on his Twitter. I said, make sure that you tag us on your this one right here. This is him.
Yeah, I just don't see anything since December 10th on X.
Yeah, so I think he's more active on YouTube.
Okay, that makes sense.
We're waiting for him to post here so we can repost his tweet about anti-gravity.
Right.
Because the last project he covered here was STOS and Goblin Mine back in November. So so we're looking for him to be here and we'll be retweeting that one as well. But like I said, so many people retweeted that one, retweeted his video for us, that they all got 4,000 points for doing that, which is cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right out of informant status, just like that.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Swizzle Sticks. Are you the evil address's brother?
Swizzle? Good question.
Yeah. Maybe Swizzle Sticks is the evil address.
He might be, dude.
He's the one that's always saying he's not going to sell, and he's the one telling everyone else to sell, just like the evil address.
I mean, we know he's not the contract, but is he the voice? Is he the person that's coming up and playing, or not playing, but is he the evil address? He sounds like he's the actual evil address that finds his way into the stream somehow.
Yeah. And Smoke Spider did the tweet of the big dude that won the lottery. Did you see that tweet? The meme that she made when you win the lottery?
No. Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah. So she says, "Can I submit that meme I did last week?" Yes. Yes. Yeah. We'll definitely give you some collective points.
100%. Yeah.
For that, I'm writing that down right now. Smoke Spider meme points.
Yeah.
Yeah. So get in there. Books. Yeah, we covered that one. He told what he used it with. Crispy Man read it all too. Not yet.
Chapter 5.
He's going through it right now. Smoke Spider getting started on chapter 5.
Yes, sir.
That was you. You answered it. Okay, it must be hard to put it down. It's on his YouTube channel. So he has posted on his YouTube channel, but he hasn't posted on X yet. So we posted on X. We're waiting for him to make an X post. All I can do is make some AI art memes and testing, and that's great. That's awesome.
Do a diorama. 10,000 points.
I think his YouTube channel is Crypto Trainer, but I'm not sure. Swizzle says I'm not selling.
But you've already posted his video though.
Sell.
Swizzle is my top suspect for the evil address.
Yeah, 100%.
That's how
Come join, Mr. Evil Address. We'd love to chat with you and all your. Don't you have some trash to talk after winning that second lottery and hitting it big?
Oh man.
How come Evil Address isn't scraping his winnings, dude? That's what I'm wondering.
I don't know. Maybe he's waiting to mint. Maybe he's just holding them off the market and just hoarding them.
Dude, the collective needs to try to find a way. To stop him. Yeah,
we need to find a way to hack and stop the evil address.
There's got to be a way.
That economic energy in our hands instead of his.
Oh, dude, that's deep.
Yeah, I'm still blown away by the 2Fox APR. That's it was 178. Now it's only 110.
Dang it! Only double your money in a year. That's not.
Yeah, that's it. But
Somebody must
that's
have
really,
added.
really interesting.
Mhm.
Say that again.
I said somebody must have added, or the volume's changing because it's
Yeah.
calculated on
Yeah.
what's happening on the
Still
system.
sexy.
Snowspire says, "I'm not leaving."
Not
Oh,
leaving,
yes.
not
No.
selling.
Yeah, what is on his YouTube channel? Yeah, I think it's. Let me actually pull it up right
Hey
here.
Max, real quick, should I reschedule that meeting, or do you want me to take it?
No, I think we're about ready to hop off now. I just wanted to come up with some way for these people to earn some points, earn their way out of being an informant.
Well, are you
And
giving this to anyone
so-
that does the diorama? We're not just doing it to the first diorama, are we? Is it to anyone that does the diorama, or is it?
Yeah, if anyone does a diorama, I think it would be cool to see a diorama.
That's
of that.
legit.
But I'm thinking if we can get people to tweet, here it is. It's just Crypto Trainer right here.
Yeah.
I'll subscribe under this one right here. But here's the if it's videos, and here's the AG project. This is one that was 21 hours ago. 13,000 views is what it
Oh,
says.
yeah.
This one had 11K views, 6 views, 5.6 views. I don't know how many of these are legitimate, just because I think that if 13,000 people watched this video, we would have at least 20 or 30 of them jumping into our Telegram.
Right, I would think.
I don't think our Telegram's grown that much. So some of these might be bots, but the truth is, if it works in the algorithm's favor, then I'll take it. I'll take the bot views for now to get this to get the momentum going. But it's pretty interesting. It says that he's got 76K subscribers on 24 videos. So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
No, we'll see. We've got some more videos coming your way. Hopefully very soon. So, oh yeah, check this out. Song memory, Inform from Snow. Remember
Yeah.
Informa from the Informer. That's what it sounds like, is an Informer.
It does.
I love it. I love it. So here's the deal. I'm going to jump into Telegram and go into the general chat, and I'm going to say 4,000 collective points for retweeting the book link
Yep.
and tagging at AG Project.
EO.
Oh, there's no dots on that one, and we definitely want to tell the evil address that we're coming for him.
Yes. Let him know
Oh,
that.
yeah. So 4,000 collective points for retweeting the book link. I should say the book link. Yeah, maybe I should actually copy that and add it to this, right?
Yes.
All right. So let me jump over here and take the book link right here.
Mm-hmm.
Go back here. Address. Add that there. Boom. Yeah. So 4,000 collected points. And this is in between this stream and our next stream. So you got between this stream and our next stream to get these 4,000 points by retweeting this link right here and telling people to jump in and earn stuff in the Telegram. Actually, you know what? Let's see here. We definitely want them to also put the t.me/anti-gravity saga. Boom. All right. So that's it, guys. That's your homework right there. If you guys want to get out of being an informer,
Or diorama.
do that. I love watching all your stats, Crispy, man. It keeps me excited being in this crypto community. You are fire. And this YouTube started 2 months ago. Can't be real scrubs review count. That's what I'm thinking too. But at the same time, to have anything outside of our little bubble right now, I believe is gold. So I appreciate that. And then where's the original tweet at? It's on
There's not
mine
with that.
right there. But all right. So I'm gonna jump and we will be on here. Oh shit. Just got here and it's
The
ending.
monkey.
Replay gang. What's
Replay
up, X
gang in
Monkey?
the house.
Yeah.
Thanks, and thank you, Die Hard, for the nice comment.
I echo that sentiment. About Hexfire.
And about the
Okay,
comment.
so let me just unfreeze my pretty little face for y'all, and we will be back tomorrow as always. Unless I can't get to a computer or my phone, and go get that 4,000 points. Jump into our Telegram, and also start tweeting your pieces of art for J3.
And a diorama gets you 10,000. Don't forget about the
Yeah,
diorama.
if you guys make a diorama,
Book report diorama, dude.
Or-
Just have a scene. All you have to
What-
do is read a chapter, and you can do it on a scene in the chapter.
yeah. Sorry, what were you saying, Crispy?
I was going to say a diorama. How do I know how to make one physically?
Just ask AI to do it. You basically say like you can upload like the picture of Heavy Hitler and be like, make him into an action figure and make this look like a photorealistic diorama of these characters. You can upload those. You can say doing this type of scene, and then you might have to tweak it a bit. But Mid-Journey, you could do something really good. ChatGPT could even do something decent.
All right. You want dioramas, huh?
Well, I guess it could be any type of book report, but diorama would just be so funny, dude. The characters.
It's just homework, man. We got to give.
Yeah, for homework, we got to give them
something to do. That's something that, like, in Hex, you set your stakes.
Well, yeah.
And then
Well,
you
so,
wait.
so we don't ruin it for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I could say chapter 1 would be a great diorama because it would be so explosive, right?
Yes.
Wow, nice.
And very visual,
I see
There
what you
you
did.
go. There you go.
quite explosive.
All right, cool guys. It's going to be really interesting. The next 5 days are going to be fun. Who knows what's going to happen in crypto? Who knows what's going to happen when we pay out that giant payout on the 10th?
Yeah.
So stay
Hundreds
tuned.
of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, and join us tomorrow. I'll be sharing the link for you guys to jump in. I really want to thank Crispy Man, not just for his time, but just for the cool stuff he's done in the Hex community.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank
Very,
you.
very cool. And even
Very cool.
he's even someone that you can hang out at a karaoke party and have a good time with. So
If you can hear,
yeah, if you can hear.
if you can hear.
Yeah, you go, Crispy Man, do it. And
Die
then
hard.
Patrick just tweeted it out. So Patrick's already got 4,000 more points. I think, yeah, Patrick's on yesterday. He did yesterday's homework too. So he's at 8,000 points.
Nice.
So
Not bad. Climbing the ranks.
climbing the ranks. We're gonna take over Twitter, guys. We got to take them over with memes and art, and just we got to get everyone curious, being like, "What the hell is this anti-gravity thing?"
Yes, we do.
And we got the right community to do it. So very, very cool.
Very good.
Very cool. All right, I love you guys. I will see you guys tomorrow. We're gonna take off and do Sunday stuff.
Yes, sir.
Yep, have a great one, man.
All
Thank
Thanks
you
for the
too.
invite.
Thanks so
We'll see
much.
you. Thanks, guys, for this.